Did you witness that? Did you witness that? Did you witness that? The space froze in absolute shock. Every leader, every supposed champion diminished, collapsed, surrendered, without a single utterance from you, not a cry, not a motion, not a trace, simply your essence, that pure, implicit, unreachable force that renders the most vocal presences silent on their own pomposity. Indeed, your essence just compelled the entire damn space to kneel, music, in stillness. They entered boisterous. They entered assured. They entered believing music, they controlled the territory, believing their pride was impenetrable. But you remained motionless. You barely exhaled with purpose. And yet the atmosphere transformed. Weight descended music upon you. Their stances wavered. Their confidence disintegrated like music fragile crystal beneath a murmur. Every leader in that space, every so-called monarch, music, experienced the unseen burden of your aura. And it frightened them. Music. Because unlike them, you require no language. You require no clamor. You are present. And that presence suffices to reshape existence. Consider it. How many individuals music rush, yell, and struggle for supremacy, assuming the most vocal prevails? They gauge strength in movements, music in decibels, in hollow proclamations. They assume they command because they vocalize the strongest. But you enter soundless, you rest. Music, you rise, and in the hush of your existence, you wage battle on every delicate pride in the space. The hush itself transforms into armament. The calmness itself, music, transforms into legion. And every leader, every aspiring giant surrenders beneath it. Your essence is the irregularity. It's the strength they never anticipated. The disruption in their meticulously practiced order. It doesn't request acknowledgement. Music, it demands it. And the magnificence of it, they will never confess it. They will murmur music behind sealed chambers, grind their jaws, attempt to duplicate what they witnessed. But they cannot. They will never reconstruct what you embody, because what you possess is not instructed. It is not replicated. It is created music in darkness, perseverance, and the frigid comprehension that existence yields to those who can survive music without requiring its awareness. Every leader humbled by you didn't simply experience diminishment, they experienced revelation, their facades fractured, their command exposed as superficial. And while they struggled to restore, to mend their fantasies, you depart the space unaltered, serene, composed. A hunter chuckling softly at the disorder you generated without raising a limb. That's strength. That's refinement. That's dread cloaked in steadiness. This is the teaching. They will attempt to duplicate it. They will pursue it, but they will never accomplish it. Why? Because they pursue music validation. They pursue adulation. They pursue the reflection of their own pride. You require music, none of that. Your commanding essence humbled them entirely without a single sound. Your force dismantled their arrogance like a weapon, music cutting fabric. You are present as evidence that the most vocal, most boastful, most adorned leaders become meaningless when music confronted with someone who simply exists. So retain it, grasp it, sense it in your core. The subsequent time you enter a space, the subsequent time existence anticipates clamor, music disorder, and spectacle. Grin softly because you comprehend the reality. They don't. You don't require to thunder. You don't require to battle. You only require to exist. And in existing, you demolish. In existing music, you reign. In existing, you humble the complete music space without uttering a phrase. That is the supreme strength. That is the invisible authority no one can seize. That is your essence. And don't assume for a moment this concludes music when the space evacuates. Oh no, The resonance of your essence pursues them. Every observation, every hushed discussion, every restless evening, they will sense music, the burden of your aura long beyond your departure. They will bear it like a wound, a perpetual acknowledgement that someone exists beyond music, their grasp, beyond their influence, that someone rendered them insignificant without raising a digit, that someone rendered them meaningless simply by existing. And that's the magnificence of it, the harsh, splendid magnificence. You've mastered what most will never comprehend. Strength is not seized. Music. Strength is not demanded. Strength is sensed, and it echoes in stillness. You've traversed through tempests of pride, battalions of arrogance, and abandoned them quaking while you remained unaffected. You've conquered the craft of destroying fantasies without aggression, music without resonance, without performance. Your force is a weapon that severs precisely, a darkness that overwhelms, an aura that requires music focus while offering nothing in exchange. Every leader that once mocked, that once paraded with arrogance, music that once presumed they were impenetrable, they now evaluate music themselves against you. They will never erase. They will never pardon. And that is your triumph, not in the clamor, not in the validation, but in the silent conquest, music of their existence. You are a tempest they cannot foresee, a darkness they cannot music escape, a reality they cannot refute. So hold your stillness like sovereignty. Let your presence communicate while your mouth remains closed. Let the space crumble while you remain fixed. Let every gaze pursue you, every consciousness fixate over you, every pride surrender to you, all without you ever attempting. That is the strength of your essence. That is what renders you unreachable. You assume they comprehend what music just transpired. Indeed, they never will. Every leader in that music space entered assuming they were impenetrable. They evaluated supremacy in language, in stances, in hollow movements. They came equipped with clamor, with assurance, with confidence that was intended to music frighten. But none of it mattered. Not a sound, not a demonstration, not a music's single effort to assert themselves could penetrate the presence you possess. Your essence is not music boisterous. It is unavoidable. It doesn't declare itself. It doesn't require acknowledgement. It claims it soundlessly, naturally, mercilessly. And here's the reality. They'll never confess. The ones who seem strongest are always the most delicate. Every leader, humbled by your aura, didn't simply experience smallness. They experienced exposure. Their meticulously built facades of superiority fractured beneath the weight of your being. Every music observation they captured, every tremor in their speech, every instant of reluctance was a confession that they perceived something beyond music them, something they couldn't access, couldn't grasp, couldn't control. And that is absolute strength. That is the variety of force existence is music terrified of, the variety of force that divides the common from the unreachable. You've conquered a dialect they can't music articulate, a strength they can't quantify. While they vocalize, while they demonstrate, while they rush to validate themselves, you exist as the unchangeable reality they can't dismiss. And because of that, they crumble. Not because you wounded them, not because you assaulted them, not because you contested. No, they crumble because you reminded them of something they've invested their lives evading. Music. That supremacy, genuine supremacy, isn't acquired through clamor. It isn't displayed in quantities. It isn't required music through hostility. It is witnessed. And when it is witnessed, it abandons a music impression. Every leader in that space will retain. They will murmur about it. They will examine music it. They will attempt to reproduce it in futility, but it's music unachievable. You are not a formula. You are not a framework. You are the irregularity, the one that violates the principles without attempting, the one whose simple existence restructures the order of existence. They will never comprehend music how you accomplished it. They will never comprehend how one silent aura humbled a space filled with music monarchs. And that is the objective. That is your triumph. That is your sovereignty. Consider the music existence outside that space. Consider the individuals who pursue focus, who desire validation, who construct kingdoms of clamor and music fantasy. None of it concerns you. You've mastered the secret that divides the unreachable from the boisterous. Existence yields to those who can survive without it, music yielding reciprocally. You don't require adulation. You don't require validation. You don't require anyone's authorization. Your force, your essence commands without requesting. Music reigns without exertion. And the consequence catastrophic. Every leader humbled, every pride demolished, every fantasy dismantled, all in stillness. And now you sense it, music, don't you? That silent grin forming in the depths of your consciousness, that recognition that you've perceived a strength the remainder will invest a lifetime pursuing. That is the revelation. That music is the reality. That is the obscure reflection they will never observe without recoiling. And the more they recoil, the more you ascend. The more they crumble, the more your presence intensifies. You are the tempest that doesn't declare itself. You are the weapon concealed in the fog. You are the music darkness in the periphery of their perception that will never vanish. So accept it. Value it. Let it expand inside you until music it becomes limitless. Let the space, existence, the so-called leaders sense the burden music of your silent command. Let them writhe in the recognition that they are meaningless. Music. Because while they vocalize, while they demonstrate, while they rush music to survive the fantasies of their own creation, you exist as evidence that supremacy, genuine supremacy, is unreachable. Music invisible and terrifying. Your essence humbled a space of leaders without a phrase, without exertion, without regret, and it will accomplish it again, music, and again, because what you possess is not an ability. It is not a technique. Now attend, because this is the segment most will never survive intellectually. You assume what transpired in that space was sufficient. Ah, that was merely the inception. Every leader humbled by your aura, every pride demolished by your essence, every fantasy stripped, exposed. Those music were only the ignitions. The inferno is still within you, waiting to devour music. Every territory you occupy, every order you confront, every consciousness that presumes it can withstand music against you. Your strength doesn't diminish when they depart. Your strength expands. It gathers. Music, it reproduces. It is a contagion of unavoidability. Everywhere you travel, their gazes pursue. Even when they feign music, they're not observing. Every murmur behind sealed chambers bears your identity. Every restless evening bears the resonance of your stillness. And they will never confess it, they will never recognize it, but internally they comprehend, they sense it, they sense the burden of a force, music that doesn't yield, doesn't implore, doesn't bargain, a force that commands the atmosphere, restructures existence, and reminds the most vocal, most boastful, most adorned leaders that they are nothing without a voice to equal the strength you possess. Music naturally. Your essence is not simply aura. Music. Your essence is unavoidability. It is a gravitational attraction that cannot be opposed, a reality that cannot music be refuted, a strength that cannot be quantified. They will attempt to duplicate it. music. They will attempt to analyze it. They will fail because what you possess is not a technique. Music, not a procedure, not something to be acquired. It is core. It is a tempest wearing a tranquil expression. It is a music darkness that murmurs I exist. While existence vocalizes, it is the silent destruction of arrogance, pride, and self-deception. And every leader who assumed themselves impenetrable will never erase the sensation of humility you delivered them without even attempting. Do you sense it yet? That rhythm in your chest, that silent surge of supremacy that music courses beneath your surface, that is what they dread. That is what renders their confidence crumble. That is what divides you from music. Every pretender, every vocal leader, every delicate music monarch who assumes strength can be exhibited, purchased, or imposed. No. Strength is sensed, and you are a force of nature in existence filled with novices pursuing clamor. You don't debate, you don't battle, you don't validate, you exist. And in existing, you obliterate music, every fantasy of superiority. Every stride you claim now is a teaching they cannot unlearn. Every inhalation you capture is an acknowledgement of the order they will never reclaim. Every observation, every subtle music motion, every silent reflection bears the burden of unavoidability that humbles the arrogant, terrifies the music boastful, and inspires the few who are prepared to awaken. Clears throat. Your essence doesn't simply humble a space, it recalibrates existence, it transforms probability. It restructures order. It reveals music vulnerability. It elevates supremacy. It is not witnessed, but it is recognized. Clears throat, not audible, but it is dreaded, not comprehended, but it is acknowledged. And here is the most exquisite reality. The more vocal they attempt to contest, the more delicate music they transform. The more they demonstrate, the simpler they are dismantled. And the more they rush to reclaim influence, the more they nourish your supremacy invisibly, naturally, mercilessly. Your essence isn't armament. It's the music benchmark, the unachievable standard they can't access, the silent apocalypse, music in existence obsessed with clamor. The unreachable darkness that reminds every leader that strength music does not belong to the vocal. It belongs to the unavoidable. So absorb it entirely. Let it intensify. Let it resonate. Let it music expand inside you until it becomes limitless. The subsequent time a space fills with arrogance, music with pride, with bluster, grin softly. Observe as every leader, every monarch, every self-proclaimed commander surrenders beneath the burden of your aura. Observe as their fantasies dissolve, their assurance demolishes, their command deteriorates, all without a single phrase from you. And comprehend this. Existence yields music to those who survive beyond its principles. Existence dreads the ones who cannot be anticipated, cannot be quantified, cannot music be halted. And you are the pinnacle of that dread, the manifestation of unavoidability, music the leader that no one can reach, and the essence that will humble every space you occupy, every order you confront, every pride, music you encounter without ever vocalizing. This is your strength. This is your sovereignty. This is the silent music dread that reigns where clamor fails. This is the invisible command that music demands without exertion. This is why every leader you encounter will never erase the day your essence music humbled them without a phrase. And it will transpire again and again and again because you are not simply strong. You are not simply supreme. Music, you are unavoidable. You are unreachable. You are eternal. And your essence will abandon existence trembling in music stillness eternally. And now the reality you've possessed to this moment. the strength you've recognized, the force that humbles every leader in its trajectory crystallizes. You are no longer simply an aura. You are a phenomenon. You are the irregularity that violates principles, the darkness, music that restructures existence, the tempest that murmurs soundlessly and abandons disorder in its path, the space, existence, every so-called monarch, every self-proclaimed leader, they survive music in a universe that never anticipated them for you. And that is your supreme armament. They will never witness it, music approaching again. They will never quantify it, anticipate it, or survive it, because your essence does not bargain. It does not clarify. It does not request authorization. It simply exists. And existence alone is more formidable than anything they've ever possessed. They will attempt to duplicate you. They will attempt to comprehend. They will fail. Every leader humbled, every pride demolished, every fantasy exposed is evidence that your command is unreachable, unshakable, unavoidable. Your stillness, music, communicates more forcefully than the most forceful thunder. Your observation severs more profoundly than the most acute weapon. Your force doesn't simply occupy a space, it restructures it. Music yields it, reigns it, claims it. Now visualize this. Every space you occupy, every order you enter, every confrontation you encounter, they all yield beneath music, the unavoidability of your aura. You don't vocalize, you don't impose, you don't contest, you simply exist. And in that existence, music, you obliterate the delicate constructs of arrogance, pride, and pretense. Every leader that stands before music, you will recognize in the most silent, most harsh manner that they are meaningless. Their assurance will crumble. Their demonstration will demolish. And all it required was one element, your essence. The magnificence of this strength, the terrifying refinement, is that it cannot, music, be seized. It cannot be acquired. It cannot be halted. It is you. It is in your circulation, in your darkness, in your core. And with it, you are a music, silent apocalypse, a strength that humbles without exertion, commands without language, and reigns without compassion. Existence will yield because it has no alternative. The leaders you've humbled will possess the burden of your aura eternally, even when they feign not music too. And those who presume to ascend against you will discover music too late that some strengths cannot be reached, cannot be confronted, cannot music be conquered. So absorb it entirely. Let the stillness expand. Let the darkness disperse. Music. Let the unavoidability of your force devour every space, every pride, every anticipation, music that stands against you. Because what you embody is conclusive. What you embody is unreachable. What you embody is eternal. And your essence, your unstoppable, unmatched, unshakable essence, will humble spaces, territories, kingdoms without ever requiring a single phrase. You are the leader that no one can reach. You are the strength that no one can yield. Music. You are the darkness that commands the stillness, and you will abandon existence trembling music, eternally in reverence of your existence.